Hello and welcome to this yoga flow all about improving your posture. So let's start in a seated position. Seated meditation, bringing one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Feel the chest expand. And then exhale, soften through the shoulders. Breathing in, feel the full length of your spine. Exhale, feel your two sit bones rooting down into the earth. One more breath. And then release your arms by your side. On your next inhale, we're going to reach the arms together up to the sky, bring the palms to touch, and then exhale, reach the hands down to the ground. Pads of the fingers touch the floor, opening the chest and shoulders. Inhale, reach the hands back up. Exhale, hands come down. Last one, breathing in, bring the palms to touch. And then exhale, reach the hands back down to the ground. We're going to keep the right hand down, but sweep the left arm overhead. Sitting your left sit bone down. Lovely, and then bring yourself up and over to the other side. Left hand down, sweep the right arm up, keeping that shoulder nice and open. Breathing in. Exhale, lovely. Slowly bring yourself back up to seated. And coming into a back bend here, so hands behind your back, opening through your chest. Feel a nice stretch in that area. We tend to get tight in the chest region, especially from being on computers, laptops or phones. So it's really nice to open this heart space. Lovely, bring yourself round. Feet to hip width distance. Soles of the feet come down, bend your knees. Bring the palms down and then walk your fingers so that they face away, just to give yourself a bit more space. Open your knees nice and wide, and we're just going to windscreen wipe through the knees, swaying the legs in and out, keeping that chest nice and open and trying not to sink too much into the shoulders. Keeping that movement nice and fluid, and then coming round to your left side, stag pose, reaching the arms up and then down. Lovely, up, down, last one, breathe in. Bring the hands down, back behind your back, and then flowing over to the other side. Bend into your right knee, turn to face the right leg, arms go up, and then arms come down. 2 more times. Last one, lifting the hands up, and then lovely, bring your hands back down, bring yourself back to the center, feet to hip width distance, hands behind your back again, open through your chest, and we're going to float the hips up for reverse tabletop. And then bringing the hips back down, so more of a fluid movement again, and then floating them back up. Squeeze the glutes and inner thighs to protect your low back, and then exhale, sink the hips back down. One more time, lifting, engage the glutes. Maybe you drop your head back, and then bring everything back down. Reach the fingertips forward and then roll yourself onto your back. Slide your heels in a little bit closer. We're going to come into a bridge pose. Squeeze the glutes again. Draw the belly button down to the spine. If you want to open through the chest again, maybe you reach the hands behind you, or maybe roll the shoulders underneath and interlace the fingers. That's also a nice variation. Let's take one more breath. And then bring everything back down to the ground. Draw the right knee into the chest, Pavanmuktasana, lengthening through that left leg. Draw your right knee towards your armpit, create space in your hips, your hip flexors. And then the left knee comes in, grab hold of that knee and extend your right leg. Soften through the shoulders. It's a really nice way of opening up through the front line of the body. Rocking and rolling. rolling through the spine, gradually going a little bit higher each time. If this doesn't feel good for your back, then you can roll over to one side and gently push yourself up. We're going to find ourselves in downward facing dog. So checking in with the feet, hip width distance, spread your fingers, draw your chest towards your thighs, bending your knees, and then extending your legs. Lovely. 2 more times. Bend your knees, lengthen through the spine, lift your heels, and then lengthen. Bend your knees, look forward, lift your heels. We're going to step to the top of the mat. Inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rolling up to standing, arms reach high. We bring the palms together. Maybe a gentle back bend, opening through the chest. And then lovely. Bring your hands behind your back and grabbing hold of your elbows. Another little chest opener there. And then diving forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rounding through your spine, draw yourself back up to standing. Optional back bend here, either bringing your hands to your low back or reach your arms overhead. Open through the chest. And then bring yourself back up to standing. Interlacing your hands behind your back or grabbing hold of the elbows, your choice, whichever one feels best for your chest. And then coming into chair pose. So we bend the knees. We want to really keep that lower back nice and long by tucking the tailbone and trying not to puff the rib cage too much here. So still knitting that lower rib cage in. Going a little bit deeper into your chair and then eventually coming back down to forward fold. Let the hands rest behind. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then maybe twisting a little bit here through the upper back, left to right, letting the hands sway either side behind you, and maybe you bend your knees here as well. Enjoying some fluid movement, and then slowly bring yourself up to standing. Really nice. Bring the hands together, prayer center. And we're going to do a little flow here, but keeping our arms behind our backs to really open through the collarbones and chest. So picking up that left knee, grab hold of your elbows behind you or reverse prayer, and then coming into warrior 3. Send the left foot to the back, kicking the back heel away, rolling that left hip down. Stepping it back to high lunge. Take a moment here. And then coming into warrior 2 with the legs, but keeping the arms behind your back. So we ground the back heel, bend the front knee, check that you can see your big toe beyond that front knee, shoulders over the wrists, and then lengthening the front leg, coming into your trikonasana. So coming into triangle pose without the arms can be quite intense here on the core. So giving yourself grace. And then slowly picking yourself back up. Start to twist your feet so that the front foot points forward, your back foot is towards the left corner. And we're going to come into Parsvottanasana. So keeping the legs nice and long, we're hinging from the hips. So only go as far as you can where you feel like your spine stays nice and long. And then from here, lift your chest back up and bend into that front knee, warrior 1. And then slowly, big step forward, top of the mat. Keeping your arms behind your back, picking up your right knee. Start to tilt your chest forward, kick the right heel back, either pointing or flexing that foot. And then slowly sending it back to high lunge. Take a moment here. And then warrior 2 with the legs. Nice bend into that front knee, looking over that left shoulder. Lengthening through your front leg. Triangle pose, send your hips back, reach that left shoulder forward, keeping the left side of the torso nice and long. And then slowly bring yourself back up to standing. So we turn that back toe towards the right corner, keeping the spine and the legs nice and long as you hinge forward from the hips. So keeping those collarbones open, keep that chest open. Really nice. Start to bend into that front leg now, coming into warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. And then start to slowly step to the top of the mat again. Release your arms by your side, give your shoulders a nice roll, and notice how you're feeling emotionally, because we tend to use our shoulders to protect ourselves. So opening can be very revealing. Lovely. Inhale, bring your hands up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Plant your hands and then stepping it back to our first low plank. So we drop the knees down and lower the chest all the way down to the ground. So we're going to do low cobra here. And also because we're opening a lot through the front line, strengthening the back is really important. So if you want to hover your hands, then that is an option for you. So if you can keep pressing the toes into the ground, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and then bring your shoulders down. Reaching your fingers towards your toes, we're going to come into Shalabhasana now. So lifting the knees, the chest, the shoulders, the fingers. Hold it there for a breath. And then melting back down. Reach your arms overhead. And we're going to lift the left arm and the right leg. Lowering down, opposite side. Right arm, left leg. And then lower down, alternating. First side. Lower, second side, lower back down, really nice. Everything all at once, so reaching the fingers up, lifting the legs, lifting the chest, and then reach your hands behind, interlace the fingers or hold onto the elbows. One more breath, and then bring everything back down, lovely. Coming onto the pads of your fingertips, almost like spider arms, and elbows point up to the ceiling. We're going to press down through the hands, feel the back of the neck lift you up, and then melting the chest back down to the ground. Really nice. 2 more of those. Breathing in, push the ground away, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, melt down. Last one. Exhale, chest comes down. Hands under your shoulders, push the ground away to all fours, and then coming to find a kneeling position. Now, if this hurts your knees, then come to find cross-legged. And then bring your hands behind your head, almost like you're sunbathing. Open the elbows, and then as you exhale, we're going to tap and round through the spine, tap the elbows together. Inhale to open the chest, open the elbows, arching the spine. Lovely. Exhale, round the spine, tap the elbows, drop the head. Inhale to open up. Let's go for one more round, moving with your breath. Inhale, opening up. And then come to find a neutral position. I'm going to talk us through Ustrasana, camel pose, so curling the toes under, coming into kneeling. Bring your hands to your low back, heels of the hands onto the sacrum, and then opening through the chest. So you can either have a chest opener here where you just go back a fraction, a centimetre, or you can go into a little bit more of a deeper back bend. Perhaps your hands go down to your heels. Just take it as deep as you wish. And then slowly peel yourself back up. Sit yourself back down on your heels. Bring the legs round to the front. Feet to hip width distance, bending your knees, and then we're going to round through the low back, engaging the core. Reach the fingers forward, and then using your core to slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Once you're there, the right knee comes into the chest, and we guide it over towards the left-hand side, coming into a supine twist. You can extend that right hand away. If it feels okay in the neck, maybe your gaze goes over to that right thumb. Breathing in. And then gently release the twist, come round to the center, left knee comes in. Maybe you extend that left hand away. Maybe the gaze follows that left thumb. And then on your next inhale, bring yourself back to the center, extending both of your legs, and then coming into your final pose, Shavasana. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and a grounding exhale. And taking a moment to thank yourself for practicing, having gratitude for your healthy body. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, letting go. You can stay in this pose for as long as you can. Otherwise, thank you so much for practicing with me. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.